Hi, my name is Chris and I'm the Rustic Caveman. Today we are going to be doing a tin stencil. Basically we're going to make this flower and we're going to transfer that to the tin, and then we're going to stamp a texture out of the tin. We'll actually cup the center of the flower. This will actually end up cupping up a little bit. We'll put some lines in the leaves. And that will give us a 3D, basically a 3D flower. And it's just one of the products that I sell here in the store. So today I'm going to show you how to make one. First thing we're going to do is to cut out the picture. I just found a picture on the web that I liked, and I'm going to go with it. I would do a better job with this if I use scissors. Longer pair of snips. Okay, so we're left with is a flower. Now let's go ahead and transfer that to the tin. Okay, we have our center, or our flower cut out. Go ahead and guesstimate where center is. Now let's cut out the tin. Okay, all my leaves are cut out now. I have the center marked. That's to kind of clean up my area. Next, I have these pieces of leather. Thank you very much, Lori from Poppies here on Court Street in Gallipolis, for gifting me the leather. I have some leather somewhere else, but I was unable to find it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start in the center and we're going to work our way around. And we're basically going to create the pattern of the sunflower seeds. For this, I'm going to use the screwdriver. And I'm going to use the brown part of this. And I'm going to hit it at an angle. See, it's starting to create these little dimples. These are actually not as fine as I was looking for. Let's see if I can find something a little bit different. Need to put my pen away so I don't get dry it out. Let's try this screw. Now that looks a little bit better. I hope that you can see that. And we're going to work this all the way around. See something a little bit longer. And you can see we're getting some more of that texture. It's kind of getting into a bowl shape. If I can show you that on the side a little bit here. This is the same thing you would do if you were hammering out the same process if you were hammering out a copper sink. It's the same thing. Obviously, hammering out a copper sink is going to require a little more skill. But the principle's the same. All right, basically what I'm doing here is I'm pounding it out until I get to where these cuts are for the different leaves and stuff. So I've got a little bit more to do here, a little bit more to do here. I'm pretty well there along here, a little bit here, a little bit here. Then I'll recup that out a little bit. If you find out you've got a little bit of a ridge line going, you can always go over it again, kind of pound it out a little bit more. All right. And that pretty well has my bottom. Should be able to see the texture in that. That'll work. And so what I have here now is I have the leaves cupping this way. I have the leaves cupping this way. You see the angle? Need to rub it harder, but I've got some texture going on in between each one of the petals. I keep calling them leaves, but they're petals. And basically what I want to get done is, since I have this domed out, and I'll have to hit it a couple more times to redome it, I'll have to flatten these out a little bit when I'm done. But I'll have these petals all having similar texture to these three. So let's get to it. A little piece of metal sticking out of that one. That hurt. All right. Now I have the basic shape. There's a little more touch up here, a little bit more touch up here, but you kind of get the idea. With keeping it about 1/4 inch away, or maybe 1/8 of an inch away from the edge of the leaf or the petal, what I do is I force this to curl up. So as you can see, the petals are curled. So I went around the outside of each one of them, and then I scraped the center of it. And what that did is that stretched the metal underneath the piece of wood here, and that made it form a cup. And that cup is what gives it its texture, its look. So I'm going to do a little more touch up here, make sure everything is looking good, and we'll see how that goes. Okay. Now it's time to paint it. I think I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to go with a spray paint and use that as a base coat. I'm going to get rid of this stuff. Like I said, every single one of these things are different. I don't think I mentioned earlier, but what the leather does is it creates a platform that will both give and support making these indentations. If I did it on the cardboard, it probably would work just as well for a little while. Eventually the cardboard will become compact and you won't be able to get that little bit of flexibility, a little bit of bounce, a little bit of give, whatever you want to call it. Leather, and I've got 3 layers of basic scrap leather. These came from a remnant, or the samples, and I figured 3 thicknesses should give me just about the right amount of squeeze, about the right amount of bounce. And these will be good for years. I'll be able to use these for years. And when they get bad, you just fold them over and keep using them. So those are that. I'm going to lay this down. Shake my spray, move my phone. It's been painted enough. Okay, that will work for the base coat. That'll work just fine. Okay, we have waited the appropriate amount of time for it to dry. As you can see, give you a look at it again. You got your texture. You got the cupping, you got the wings, the petals, they've got a texture to them. It actually looks pretty nice the way it is. I'm going to add some touch-up color here and there. As soon as I can get the jar open. Downside of using an old mayonnaise jar is the paint gets in the grooves and they don't like to come back out. Okay. And a little bit of nutmeg brown. That should be enough. Made some 2 tools out of the wood here to make this process a lot easier. So let's get started.